Esther, the Easter skunk.
A yarn for the young at heart.
Have you ever peeked inside a sugar egg? No? Well, it's time you did. In the heart of the forest, secluded from view, lies a magical valley anointed with dew, and benighted each day by the sun's early rays, which are gently dispersed by a lingering haze. In the autumn, like clockwork, its green turns to gold. In the winter its frost is a sight to behold. Well, at least for the critters who call the place home. Not a human among them, not even a gnome. It belongs to the animals, winged and furry. They swim and they fly, how they hurry and scurry. It's not just for show, and it's not just for sport. They're engrossed in their work, an unusual sort. It requires some training and skill, not to mention attention to detail and bursts of invention. Their boss is a figure of fame international. Likeable, surely, but slightly irrational. He can't be blamed for his faults, for he bears so much more of a burden than regular hares. He's officially known as the Eastertide Rabbit, but everyone calls him the Hare out of habit. His talents are many, his resume stunning. He's clever and strong, but his forte is running. He's never been beaten while running a race. Well, not counting the tortoise, his only disgrace. Oh, but that's ancient history. Let bygones be bygone. By now he's the valley's most talked about icon, a fact that the tortoise benignly makes fun of, for fame is a thing that the tortoise wants none of.
Her pal is the big shot, the brash entertainer, while she earns her keep as his personal trainer.
Of course, there are others who keep it all running. The lizard, for instance, that's her out there sunning. She works in the meadow of jelly bean stalks by retrieving the stray ones that fall between rocks. It's a booger to reach 'em in grass made of plastic, but Liz is a whiz at it, joints like elastic. The ripe ones are picked by a dexterous monkey and carried away by a donkey named Spunky. The two of them fancy themselves as crusaders, protecting their crop from potential invaders. There's even a slingshot. They keep the thing handy, though HR discourages weaponized candy. The grass mentioned earlier often grows feral, a fact which bedevils the ox known as Darrell. It's his job to harvest the grass once it's grown, with some help from the termites who keep the field mown. All the chocolate is quarried in treacherous canyons by Monty the mountain goat. Monty's companions assist him in moving the blocks to the valley. That's Chewy the chipmunk and Magpie McNally. The blocks are delivered to Beverly Beaver, whose teeth are as sharp as a stainless steel cleaver. She carves and she whittles, she hollows and purges, till little by little a profile emerges.
A profile of whom? Why, the hare, to be sure, in a posture that flatters his elegant fur. It's an image that many have come to expect,
with its finishing touches impeccably pecked by Juanita the woodpecker, quick as a wink. Then the sculpture is buffed to a shine by a mink known as Mikey before it gets wrapped by a pica in ever so delicate slivers of mica. The largest department by far is confections. We've covered the bulk of it, just one more section, and that one produces the chicks made of marshmallow. Bruno's in charge of it, bit of a harsh fellow. That's understandable. Look at those bees. They swarm and they scatter. They do as they please. It cannot be denied they're a diligent staff, but the notion of keeping them just makes them laugh. When the honey they make is infused with the web of a friendly yet venomous spider named Deb, it gets fluffy and white. It's a curious mix that gets formed into rows of the cute little chicks. For an hour they harden, and then they get dipped in a daffodil's pollen before they get shipped to the boxing conveyor belt 5 to a row,
where they're primped and inspected by Randy the Crow.
Though the figures resemble our fine feathered friends, their appearance is where the comparison ends, for the real ones have energy, plenty to spare. So says Boris, the brother of Bruno the bear. It is Boris who's charged with the chicks' education. They'll work with their parents upon graduation. For now it's a chore just to gather the chicks, but a static electrical charge does the trick. With the brush of his fur, Boris traps them with ease, and the folks who observe were once tempted to tease. For a time, he's a magnet for chicks, was the josh, on which folks from HR quickly put the kibosh. The aforementioned parents are naturally chickens. As Easter approaches, they work like the dickens. The cock of the walk is a rooster named Rudy. Alerting the world of the dawn is his duty. At dusk, he's relieved by a fox known as Freddy. Should anything threaten the chickens, he's ready. Completely reformed from his mischievous past, he no longer steals eggs, for they just give him tummy trouble. The hens are a playful but disciplined troop. They spend much of the day laying eggs in their coop. There are some that will hatch, but the rest will be boiled, and that's carried out by a frog known as Doyle. They cool for a time, then they're ready to take to the freshwater octopus deep in the lake. In Octavia's tentacles, each egg is dyed. She brews ink by the ton, and her palette is wide. At the moment, she's pausing to change out a cartridge. For that, she needs help from Picasso the partridge. He works in a pear tree, that curious fellow. The pears come in aqua, magenta, and yellow. When they're mixed with the ink that Octavia brews, they make hundreds of colors and startling hues. Esmeralda the snail watches eggs as they dry, and the thrill of it all brings a tear to her eye. There is one last department, there's no need to ask it. It yields every festive and colorful basket. The weaver at work is a porcupine, Irving, so quick with a quill it's a little unnerving. Each basket he weaves gets a trifle of trim, like a bow or a ribbon, whatever his whim. He gets help from a robin, that's also her name, and the nests she assembles bring others to shame. Many baubles and beads are secured by the bird. Just don't ask where she gets them, she won't say a word.
Well, that's every department. Not much left to tell, only great jumping jelly beans! What is that smell? Would you like to meet Esther and hear the rest of her story? Visit augustmergelman.weebly.com.